Welcome back, everybody. I hope that you all had something yummy to eat and that you are back nice and warm with a warm blankie. I've got my lovely gown blankie that I'm wearing to keep myself warm. Today we are going to read this awesome story called Titch the Tiddler. It's written and illustrated by Jill Newtown. Now that means that Jill Newtown wrote the story and she drew the pictures. Isn't that awesome? Okay, if I read the back of the book, do you remember what it's called? It's called the blurb. The blurb tells us all about what's going to happen in the story. Let's see. Titch is the smallest fish on the reef. The big bold fish won't play with him. They just laugh at him. Titch tries to join in the fun, but things go from bad to worse as Titch tries to become just like the bigger fish. Then, one day, the sea goes dark and events take a turn for the worst. Dum, dum, dum. Here's a small little picture of Titch. Let's carry on with our story. Titch watched the big bold fish laugh and play by the old shipwreck. He swam towards them to join in. "What are you doing here?" laughed Puffer. "This is not a place for a small fry." All the big fish roared with laughter at poor little Titch the Tiddler. Hee hee hee! Titch so wanted to be like the rest of the fish. He'd love to be able to make a big splash like whale. Splash! To be able to blow himself up and be big and spiky like Puffer. Now that would be great. Puff up your face. Cool puffing. Or have razor sharp, shiny teeth like shark. Even to be able to dance as gracefully as the seahorses would be lovely. If you were a fish, would you like to be able to do all those cool things? But his splash was more like a plop. Plop! And he didn't have a single tooth to his name. Blowing himself up simply made his scales hurt. And as for dancing, well, it was as far away from being graceful as you could possibly imagine. I'd say you're perfect as you are, even if the big fish don't want to play with you, said his mom. And the crabs and the octopuses love you. You're always finding hidden treasures for them in the shipwreck. And the baby fish, they have great fun playing hide and seek with you. But somehow that wasn't good enough for Titch. He wanted to be big and bold like the others. When you sat at home, doesn't your mom make you feel better too, or try to make you feel better? Sometimes it's important to listen to what your mom says, because you are perfect just the way you are. So Titch got some pointy shells and stuck them to his back. Do you think he listened to his mom? He still didn't think he was perfect. He tied a large scallop shell to his tail to help him swim fast. He wrapped slippy, slimy seaweed around his fins. He looked big and bold now, he thought. Surely the other fish would want to play and have fun with him now. Look at how cool he looks, or how weird he looks if you think so. There's some shells, some seaweed. The big bold fish did have fun, but not the kind Titch wanted to be a part of. "Look at the tiddler!" shrieked Shark. "He's trying to be fierce." Hee hee hee. The big bold fish were laughing so much they did not notice that the sunlight had disappeared and the sea had gone dark. Are you guys scared of the dark? I'm sometimes scared of the dark too. Whoosh! A large net was pulled tight around the fish who were not laughing anymore. They were trapped. No one could escape. No one except Titch. Titch swam through the holes in the net. Why do you think this net is around them? Yes, they're trying to catch the fish. The humans are trying to catch the fish. "Help us, Titch, help! We're sorry we laughed at you. Please help us," the prisoners yelled. So little Titch the Tiddler swam away as fast as his little fins could carry him, back to the shipwreck. The big, bold fish did not feel big and bold as the net slowly heaved them upwards. They felt afraid, and they were alone. Here's the fish in the net. Here's the ship with the people trying to catch them. And there's Titch going to the shipwreck to see what he can get to help them. But not for long. Shark, whale, turtle, and all their trapped gang could not believe their eyes when they saw an army of octopuses and a cavalry of crabs dashing their way. And leading their army was a tiny little fish. A tiddler of a fish. Titch the Tiddler. He had brought his friends to help. The army of helpers quickly set about the net. Snip, snip. The crab snipped. The squid untangled. The octopuses unraveled. Titch tugged and pulled and tugged with all his might until the fish were free. They rushed over to Titch and his helpers, who were resting on the rocks. Rescuing was quite hard work. Thank you very much," they cried. "Can we ask just one more thing, Mr. Titch Tiddler, hero of the sea?" asked Shark. "You can ask," said the little tidy fish wearily. "Can we play here with you? It does look like fun." Titch thought for a while. What do you think Titch is going to say? Do you think you should be mean to the big animals, to the big fish? I don't think so either. Let's see what he says. "On one condition," he replied. "Anything," nodded the shark. "That we play hide and seek," yelled Titch, zooming off to hide. They all had hours and hours of fun searching for him. Can you find him? Have a look at this picture and see if you can find Titch. Did you find him? He's over here. And flat, flat, my story is 8. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. We are going to be doing a little art activity, a craft, okay? And we are going to make a fishy. And this fish is so cool, it moves. So what you need for this art activity is a piece of color paper. I use the light yellow. It's better to use paper instead of cardboard if you have paper. If you only have white paper, you can use that as well. Another smaller piece of paper that's the same color. Then you need another color. So you can either have just red, so you can have it for the tongue and the fins and the tail, or like me, if you want to have your tongue red and then you have your fins and your tail another color. Okay, if you don't have other color paper, all you need to do is color in a piece of white paper and you can make all of this. So stay watching and I will move to my working table to show you guys how to make this lovely fish. I made 2. So today we are going to be making a little fish like Titch the Tiddler. This fish moves. It's really awesome and it's a lot of fun to make. For this, you will need to make a fin, a tail. You are going to need color paper. This is an A4 sheet of paper. If you don't have color paper, you can use white paper as well. I also have extra color cardboard that I used. I used the orange to make my fin and my tail. And I used red to make the tongue. If you don't have color paper, all you need to do is color in a white piece of paper the colors that you would like it to be. You also need scissors and a glue stick. When you work with your scissors, remember, don't play with your scissors. Practice scissor safety. Hold it and pass it like that if you need to. And don't poke anybody with your scissors. You're also going to need a pencil and a Koki. I use the black Koki. Take your A4 sheet of paper and fold the one corner towards the other side, the opposite line of your page. Fold it nice and flat. If you need, get an adult to help you with this part to make sure that it's perfect. Use your finger to flatten down the page. Now, can you see how I have a triangle over here and a rectangle here? I'm going to cut the rectangle off with my scissors. I'm cutting with my cutting hand. Now, even though I'm left-handed, I cut with my right hand. If you cut with your left hand, turn the page the other way so that your rectangle is closer to your cutting hand. Now I've got a triangle. Can you guess what shape it's going to be when I unfold it? A square! Isn't that awesome? Okay, now can you see this line that came when I folded the page over? You are going to turn your page so that the line faces you. You're going to take the corner of your square and you are going to fold it over on the line that you folded initially. Those of you that make jets, I know this will be super easy for you guys. Now you're going to take your other corner as well and fold it inwards. Okay, now it's kind of taking shape. So this part is what is going to make the shape of the fish. It's going to be glued together. You can kind of see the shape of the fish is starting to show. Unfold it. And fold it in half again so that it's on the corner, on the edge that you folded initially. Now you're going to take your scissors, and where the line is, where you folded the bottom part of the fish, you don't cut past there, okay? So that's going to be the bottom part of your fish. That part must not be cut. Don't cut closer to where your hand starts. So if you're cutting from the right side, cut from the right side and move to the left. If you're cutting with your left hand, you're going to cut from your left side and move to the right. Just see what works best for you. I am going to take my ruler and my pencil to just show you where my line is, where the fold is, so that I don't cut past that line. You don't have to draw this line. This line is just to help you guys to see where to cut from. Make your finger like this so that you mark off where you start cutting or stop cutting. That's going to be Tiddler's face. Cut a straight line and you stop right at the line that you drew, or at your folded line. Now you cut another part. You don't have to measure this. Just leave some space. And keep cutting until you get to the end. Don't cut your lines too small, because then you're going to end up with a broken fish. Mine is about a finger space worth, like maybe my small finger. Be very careful, don't cut your fingers. And there you go. Now we have a kind of fringe, and the end triangle over here, that is where Tiddler's face is going to be. Take your glue stick, put some glue on the top part, your triangle part that you didn't cut. Remember, work nice and neat. Try not to get any glue on your parents' furniture. Fold it over, and then you're going to take the other fold and stick it on. There we go. Just press it tight so that the glue sticks. I'm putting my hand inside very carefully just to press it down to make sure that it's sticking perfectly and that it doesn't come apart. Now I'm going to take this corner, and I don't want it to be pokey. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to make it a rounded edge. Just like this. There we go. Now you can see my fish is sort of formed. I'm going to take my extra piece of yellow paper. You could use this piece, this rectangle that you cut off, but I don't feel like it's big enough to make the mouth. So I'm going to use the extra piece that I got, and I'm going to work in the corner. So can you see that corner? And I cut around, it kind of looks like an ice cream scoop. If you've got any funny corners, just cut that off, make it rounded. Then I'm going to take my Prit again, my glue stick, and I'm putting some Prit on the cone part of my ice cream cone. It's better to actually work on a table than to work in your hands. Just don't get glue. Stick it at the bottom. So you saw the part where we cut the corner off. You're sticking it at the bottom where we pasted it earlier on. And now I've got a mouth. The top part of his mouth and the bottom part of his mouth. Clean up your mess. Don't leave litter all over your house. Now I'm going to make the fin and the tail. And it's super easy to do this. We are going to work with one simple shape, a heart. So take your other color. If you're working with your red, that's fine. Fold your page over. Okay. Now we are going to make a heart, and I've taught you guys how to do a heart. You fold your page over, you draw a heart, a half a heart with a pencil, and then you cut that out. Half a heart, and then you cut that out. So I'm going to do it with my pencil. I'm going to draw half of my heart, and then at the bottom of that I'm going to draw another half a heart. I'm going to do it just with Koki so that you guys can see it more clearly. There we go. And I'm going to draw another heart at the bottom. Now your hearts don't have to be the same size. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you've got nice hearts. Now when you open it, you see that side there's nothing. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut next to my line. And when I cut, I remember I'm not trying to turn my scissors all funny directions. I'm turning my page so that it's easier to cut. There we go. Now I've got a half a heart. When I open it up, I've got a whole heart. Isn't that awesome? Okay, I'm going to do it again for this side. Cut, cut, cut. Okay, half a heart, and when I open it up, I have a whole heart. Now I have 2 hearts. Now you can choose which heart you want to use for the fin. I decided that I'm going to use my bigger heart for the tail. So I'm going to take some glue and just put a little bit in the middle of my heart on the line. Can you see that? So I'm not spreading the glue on the whole heart, just in the middle. And then I make sure the tip of my fish's tail touches the middle part of my heart right on top there. I press it down carefully. Be careful not to squish your tail. Then I'm going to take my smaller heart and I'm going to cut it on the line. That's my fin, okay? Cut it on the line. Please excuse the Koki mark on my finger. Okay, now I've got 2 half hearts. I put some glue on the the bottom part of my heart nicely, and then I take it and I press it on the side of my fish and I make it nice and secure. Press it down, and when I do the other part of my fin, I make sure that if the straight line was on top of the fish, the straight line is on top on the other side so that it looks the same. It's not upside down. Okay, almost done. Now I'm going to do my eyes. You can decide if you want to make your eyes with a white round paper with a black dot. I'm just going to make it easy and draw a simple black dot on both sides of my fish. You can decide how big or small you want your fish's eyes to be. It's up to you. If you're going to make a white eye with a black dot, all you need to do is take white paper, make a circle, and use your black Koki. Now I'm going to use my red to make the tongue. Okay? So again, I'm going to cut from the corner, just like I did when I did the bottom of the mouth. And I'm making the tongue a little bit smaller than how I made the mouth. I don't really like the way I did this tongue, so I'm going to try again. Everyone makes mistakes. We learn from them. Okay, there you go. It's not perfect, but it will work. I'm going to take some glue, put it all the way at the bottom of my tongue, and I'm going to stick it in the mouth at the bottom. So make sure that the pointy part is at the back of his body, so that the pointy part isn't sticking out. You've got the rounded part sticking out. There we go. Now I have my fish. It moves. It's got a tail, fins. It's got a tongue. My fish is awesome. Thank you for watching. Bye.